Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Rise Up Sparks, where you get little bites of big information to ignite transformation in your world. Today's Spark is brought to you by Rise Up Phoenix Trauma and Crisis Institute. I'm your host, Krista Fee M.A., trauma psychologist, master relationship coaching consultant, author, and keynote. Every week, I'll be here sharing the tools and resources that my clients have found to be the most valuable. Today, we're talking about taking the blame out of your relationship game. This is from our relationship module, and sometimes we'll be talking about relationships, sometimes family, sometimes community, sometimes even safety. So I can't wait to bring you all of these juicy little tidbits that are my clients' favorite things. So today I want to ask you to bring your awareness to how often in your communication, in your conversations, do you assign blame and responsibility? How often do you say things like, "Oh, you make me so mad. You made me late," to your partner, to your significant other, or to other people? "Oh my gosh, my husband made me so late this morning." Right? So that's what we're talking about today is noticing and becoming aware of how often in our speech we are placing blame throughout our day. Now, this placing blame actually reveals a little bit about how we feel about how much control we have in our life. It points to having an external locus of control, which is a really fancy way of saying that we feel like we are just going with the motions and the world kind of creates our experience for us. And the alternative to that is having an internal locus of control, which means that we feel like we have control over our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and the experiences that we create in our daily life are our own. And science has proven over time through tons of different research projects that people who have a really solid internal locus of control, those who believe they have the most control over their own life experiences and outcomes, are the most happy, successful people. So when we're looking at having great relationships, when we're looking at having great communication, and we're seeking to have really awesome life experiences, noticing ways that our language reveals the hidden truths about how we see ourselves and the world around us can be very useful. So, again, just take notice of how many times throughout your day you're saying, "You did this. You made me feel this way. Because of you, my life is this way." And when you're talking to your significant other or anyone in a close relationship with you, one of the fastest ways to create defensiveness and ensure that they don't hear anything else you have to say is to say, "You made me feel this way." To place blame in a conversation early on is one of the surefire ways to ensure that conversation is going nowhere good. So we call this series of conversations that we're going to have over the next few weeks the rules of relationship engagement. And the very first rule is no more blame. So what we're seeking to do is shift from focusing on the person to focusing on the problem. What is happening? Not who's responsible for what's happening. What is happening and what are we going to do about it? So when you feel that urge to say, "You made me late," maybe you can look internally and instead say, "Oh my gosh, I am late. What can I do to make sure this doesn't happen again? I got caught up talking with my husband. So maybe if I got up a little bit early to make sure that our conversation isn't rushed tomorrow morning, or that I have a few minutes of time to talk to him, or that, uh, or maybe I need to set a boundary better. Maybe I need to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late for work. We'll finish this conversation later. Maybe I need to be responsible for interrupting my husband to ensure that I actually can get where I need to be on time. Those are two really, really simple possible alternatives that just pop into my mind from that simple conversation. Oh my gosh, I'm late. Okay, well, did your husband actually make you late? Or did you make yourself late by not getting up early enough, giving yourself enough time to have the conversation that you needed to have with him? Or by not setting the boundaries you needed to set to ensure that you could leave the conversation and get to work on time? Was it your husband's interruption, or was it that you didn't prioritize getting to work on time over having that conversation with your husband? Just a tiny example of how this plays out in our lives. So, again, are you asking who did it, who's responsible, or are you asking what can I do about this situation? What is bothering me? What is happening? And what can we do to change it? So, this is just your first little tidbit. I hope that you found this conversation useful and that you will continue to tune in for Rise Up Sparks. Our goal is to keep every single episode under 10 minutes so that you get tiny little bites of information, real world actionable steps, and things you can apply into your life immediately to see measurable results as fast as possible in the quality of your life experience with the least amount of time commitment taken by our program. So today's episode was again brought to you by Rise Up Phoenix Trauma and Crisis Institute, Battle to be 501c3 nonprofit organization, and McKay's Automotive of the Woodlands in Texas. So if you're looking for amazing automotive service that you can trust, head on out and talk to Alan at McKay's Automotive. Thank you so much. And again, my name is Krista Fee, and I would love to talk with you further. Please like, comment, share, or support this podcast so we can continue to do these episodes and continue to do the work that we do through the 501c3 nonprofit, serving those who serve country and community, serving our military and first responder families in times of crisis and in times of grief. Krista Fee signing out, and I will see you next time.